mother, a professional, and a business owner.
I am a mother and an entrepreneur.
I am a neuroscientist, nurse educator, a mother, a wife, a daughter, a businesswoman, and a community leader.
I'm a mother.
I'm a wife, a pediatrician by profession, and a fur mommy to our 5 dogs.
I'm a businesswoman.
By continuing to evolve and encouraging everyone to be open and accepting and embracing the change as the world evolves in front of us.
I inspire change by living by example, giving the younger women or anyone that I have become a role model to hope of the possibilities of what they themselves could have.
It is very important that to improve the health of the community and the way that we do live our lives, that we start to change, and it starts with the man in front of the mirror or the woman in front of the mirror. So do whatever you can in order to make life better for you, your family, as well as the community.
By treating everyone I meet equally.
One way I could try to instigate change would be my constant reminder and encouragement of all my teen patients, especially the girls, to pursue higher education so as to have a brighter future, not only for themselves, but also for their families.
By being an inspiration to those who strive to work for themselves.
Bridging the gap among women is very important, and my role in this issue is towards mentoring students, especially female students, towards their career and welcoming them into the university, in the lab setting, or in the community services that we are doing. I also provide a lot of role modeling in terms of what women or anyone can do to improve the health of the community.
Being an example to my kids and my whole family.
By educating them not only with their finances, but also coach them with their mindset.
By being sensitive to the needs of others and a willingness to extend a helping hand would be my way of assisting other women.
By being an example to aspiring women and giving advice and sharing my experience as necessary. Absolutely.
Yes, I do believe that women should be celebrated. They are in various aspects, and women are very important in terms of family and building communities. And sometimes their work is unrecognized. They are the unsung heroes, and it's time to celebrate them.
Women should definitely be celebrated for the impact that they have had in this world and in history.
I definitely believe that it's very important to celebrate women, especially the wives. As they say, happy wife, happy life.
I believe in celebrating women because I know that we are an instrument of giving life and light to the world.
Yes, most definitely.
mother, and an entrepreneur.
I am a neuroscientist, nurse educator, a mother, a wife, a daughter, a businesswoman, and a community leader.
I'm a mother.
I'm a wife, a pediatrician by profession, and a fur mommy to our 5 dogs.
I am a businesswoman.
By continuing to evolve and encouraging everyone to be open and accepting and embracing the change as the world evolves in front of us.
I inspire change by living by example, giving the younger women or anyone that I have become a role model to hope of the possibilities of what they themselves could have.
It is very important that to improve the health of the community and the way that we do live our lives, that we start to change, and it starts with the man in front of the mirror or the woman in front of the mirror. So do whatever you can in order to make life better for you, your family, as well as the community.
By treating everyone I meet equally.
One way I could try to instigate change would be my constant reminder and encouragement of all my teen patients, especially the girls, to pursue higher education so as to have a brighter future, not only for themselves, but also for their families.
By being an inspiration to those who strive to work for themselves.
Bridging the gap among women is very important, and my role in this issue is towards mentoring students, especially female students, towards their career and welcoming them into the university, in lab setting, or in the community services that we are doing. I also provide a lot of role modeling in terms of what women or anyone can do to improve the health of the community.
Being an example to my kids and my whole family.
By educating them not only with their finances, but also coach them with their mindset.
By being sensitive to the needs of others and a willingness to extend a helping hand would be my way of assisting other women.
By being an example to aspiring women and giving advice and sharing my experience as necessary. Absolutely.
Yes, I do believe that women should be celebrated. They are in various aspects, and women are very important in terms of family and building communities. And sometimes their work is unrecognized. They are the unsung heroes, and it's time to celebrate them.
Women should definitely be celebrated for the impact that they have had in this world and in history.
I definitely believe that it's very important to celebrate women, especially the wives. As they say, happy wife, happy life.
I believe in celebrating women because I know that we are an instrument of giving life and light to the world.
Yes, most definitely.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here with everybody today. This has been a year in the making, and I can't wait to share with you what Celebrating Women Inspiring Change is all about. But in the meantime, let's take a look at last year's event. Good morning again. My name is Joyce Garcia. I am the vice chair for the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce here in Austin, Texas. And along with our chair, Mr. Jay Aquino, we'd like to welcome you to our event, Celebrating Women, Inspiring Change. It is a privilege for me to be able to share this profound experience with each and every one of you. I have been privileged to work as a moderator at last year's event, and it had such an impact on me when I was asked to lead this year and thought and think of a theme. I reflected on impacting bridging and how bridging the gap in our increasingly interconnected yet sometimes distant world. We all know how that is, especially if you have a teenager. And this is why I'm excited to showcase women who are not only making a difference locally, but globally, reminding us that amidst our technological leaps, human touch must never be lost. Among the incredible women I've invited, today you'll hear from those who truly embody the essence of our theme, from a storyteller who uses her books to coaching to inspire, to another who blends nature and science for positive impact, and to one who leverages her experience in media outreach for global connections. And finally, a trailblazer who reminds us of the importance of valuing every individual. This year's quick event is special as we've made it into a hybrid of having online and in-person to maximize your experience. The format allows you to dive deeper into discussions, share insights with those around us, and create meaningful connections that will enrich our journey together after we hear from our extraordinary guest speakers. Without further ado, let us start. I would like to first introduce our state president for the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Ms. Rowena Waters. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Rowena Waters. I am the state president of the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce of Texas, and I'm very happy to welcome you this Saturday morning as we give a nod to Women's History Month. Celebrating Women Inspiring Change is the third in a series that we started in 2022. This year, we are embarking on something different. We have a broadcast, and then we're going to have a get together on a regional level. As you know, the Philippine Chamber of Commerce of Texas is a 5-region chamber. And feel free to ask about all the other initiatives that we have that might benefit you and initiatives that you would enjoy. I would like to thank this year's chair, Joyce Messina Garcia, for working so hard to make this happen. Andrea Marasigan, who has ably supported us. She is our administrative coordinator. And of course, the new channel for partnering with us for this one. Please stay back, have fun, and we will see you at our next event.
Thank you so much, Rowena. Now on to our guest speakers. Our first speaker will be hearing from Dr. Michelle Mraz. Dr. Michelle Mraz is a resilient survivor, an award-winning keynote speaker, and a dedicated coach who empowers others to embrace their unique gifts. Overcoming significant life challenges, she uses her experience to inspire others to live unapologetically. She holds a PhD in entrepreneurology, has delivered a TEDx talk, and has been recognized with numerous awards for her inspirational influence. As the CEO of Mraz Inc. and co-host of 2 podcasts, as well as the host of the Mental Shift TV show, shown here on the new channel, She continues to share her empowering message globally. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Michelle Mraz.
Imagine if you lived your life unapologetically. How would that shift your reality? My mission and passion is in helping you. People who are ready to move, take action, do it now. I don't coddle. I conquer with courageous clients. Life is short. Tomorrow is never promised. My brain injury and battle with breast cancer helps me become intimate with my inner critics. Together, we remove the veil of perceived inadequacies to step into who you are. Embrace the mindset. Be transformed into the person who's waiting for you to emerge. Maya Angelou said, "My mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style." Join me and live your life unapologetically.
Good morning. If you all have children, or if you don't have children, if you've watched movies, you know of Mary Poppins. And I want to start this because today we're going to be talking about a lot of very important topics, but we have to remember that in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap, the job's a game. And every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a lark, a spree. It's very clear to see that a spoon full of sugar will help the medicine go down. And that's what we're doing here today with this environment that we have created, that we've put all these women together that are sharing their stories, sharing their journey, and helping inspire women to step into who they are. In honor of International Women's History Month, it's important to realize that we are the cave painters of the future. And currently, what we are allowing the world to do is tell the story of our future on Instagram and fake pictures and, whatever. We're letting the world recreate who we truly are. And as women, we need to be able to tell our stories, the real stories, the joy, the pain, whatever it is, the not so tragic, whatever it is, the real story of being who we are. And I know a lot of you, I train people. I train speakers. I'm a keynote talker. I have about 28 books. 16 of them are bestsellers out there. I have the live stream show, Mental Shift, here on TNC. And I just released a music album. Why do I do all of that? Because I want to be able to reach the next generation. And I want to reach you in any aspect that you will connect to. Why? Because we need the inspiration. Women have forgotten how powerful we truly are. We are the catalyst of everything that happens in our world. Why? Because success comes through pain. Okay? I'm going to get philosophical on you. Success comes through pain. When you give birth, when you are birthed, there is a pain, there's an uncomfortableness about being in a state, and you need to shift out. So I'm going to use childbirth as an example. When a baby's in there and they're getting bigger and bigger and they can't fit, they want out. When you are in a situation, and may it be a job, a relationship, a friendship, whatever it is, you know what? It doesn't feel right. I want out. That is the catalyst for success in whatever you do, be it motherhood, best friendness, your job, whatever it is. Uncomfortable is a sign for change. It is the catalyst to move forward in your story, whatever that story is. Now, the secret to success for very successful people is they realize when they are in pain and they move from it. The other thing is they also understand that their time here is limited. Now, I don't want to sound negative or anything, but remember I said a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. We aren't going to live forever. And so if you want something to change, if you want to make a difference in whatever you do, you must understand that there is a time limit connected to whatever you want to do. You can't keep saying tomorrow because tomorrow will always be tomorrow. Then 3, you must have a goal. I love to say that life is like a GPS. You must give it a direction, wherever it may be, a direction so that you know which way to go. You may not make it there the exact same path as that GPS shows you. You may take a side road. There may be a blocked road. There might be something in the way, but there is always a road to whatever you want. Matter of fact, on your way to whatever you want, you might shift and go somewhere else. But it's where you're going. It's the important. Going forward. Now, the reason I'm saying all of this, understand that when you are uncomfortable, it's time for a change. 2, time is infinite. It's not infinite, it's finite. It will end. And then 3, you have to have a goal to whatever direction you want. So a catalyst, the awareness, and then a direction. We are the cave painters of the future. So if we aren't the ones who are willing to make that difference, that change, that shift, then our children learn sit. Our children learn don't change. Our children say it's okay to be complacent in the way it is, even when I'm uncomfortable. So what I encourage you all today to do is to celebrate you. Don't wait for the world to celebrate you. Don't wait for a country to celebrate you. Don't wait for all the other women to celebrate you. Celebrate you in everything you do. And I know right now you're like, celebrate what? I don't have anything to celebrate. There's a quote by the Dalai Lama. He says, if you think you are too small to make a difference, try sleeping in a room with a mosquito. I love that because I meet so many people when I'm training them to speak on stage. They do, I don't really have a story. Or I only made this little bit of, that doesn't make a difference. Yes, it does. A mosquito makes a difference in a gigantic room. That one little noise, that one little mosquito makes a difference in that person's life. So I challenge you to do one tiny something new, different in your life every day. And what will happen is that tiny difference will add up to big differences. Celebrate your teeny tiny accomplishments. Celebrate you in every day. Celebrate that you woke up every day. Does that sound right? Yeah. So, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You need to find that fun in everything you do. Now, I bridge the gap by telling stories, singing songs, writing books, training other people how to tell their story. It's my passion in life. And as I said in the video, my passion in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive and to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Quote by Maya Angelou. I use that as my catalyst to realize that no matter what I do, I have to do it in the best of my ability. The best version of me shows up no matter where I am. And I'm unapologetic about anything that happens around it. If I mess up, I mess up. If I make it amazing, I make it amazing. But I'm unapologetically me. Later on today, with our keynote, Sherry Tree, you will learn more about how to capture who you are. There's a power in understanding the essence of you, because once you understand the essence of you, you're able to understand the people around you. Power in observation. And as a woman in this world that is ever changing and the internet is connecting us around the world, it is important to understand who you are, where you're going, What's that catalyst that's going to make you keep moving? Have the awareness that your time is not limitless. We have to make that dash on our tombstone count, no matter what you do. Number 3, you gotta have a direction. Set a goal out there and then make a mini goal every day to do something different. If you follow me on social media, if you follow me, I'm actually gonna put my QR code up there. If you follow me on my website, michellemoross.com, you will see videos of me on YouTube where I have altered myself over the past 6 years. In the video, it said I had a brain injury and I battled breast cancer. But what it doesn't show, or unless you saw the video, I dropped 245 pounds. And people think that it's a video, that it's a physical change. What I'm saying, it's a mental change. I learned to stop waiting for someone else to say good job to me and started saying good job to myself. Celebrate you in all you do. Be the best version of you unapologetically. And you'll build a stairway to paradise with a new step every day. Take that tiny step every day to find your way. So they'll put a QR code up. Follow me. Go to michellemoross.com. And I'd love to see you. I have an album out. Follow me on Mental Shift here on TNC on every Tuesday night at 7:30 Mountain Standard Time. And if you've got a story to tell, message me and say, Michelle, I'd like to be on your show too. So have a wonderful rest of your week, the rest of this day, and keep celebrating you and all the other women that are around you today. Take care, and signing off, I'm Dr. Michelle Moross. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michelle Moross. Oh my goodness. That just really inspired me because earlier with all the glitches, the internet, you're going to mess up, and I'm unapologetically still me. I truly appreciate it. Loved your energy. And now on to our next speaker. I have the privilege to also introduce Dr. Annabelle Morgan, who I've personally met. I've met all of our speakers, by the way. So Dr. Annabelle Morgan and I immediately connected, but what I love about her more was she thought she was older than me. Funny story. I was like, I love you even more. But Dr. Morgan is a highly accomplished scientist, educator, author, with a profound focus on integrating plant compounds, specifically cannabinoids, into modern medicine. She holds a doctorate in cell and development biology from Vanderbilt University, where she researched genetic mutations associated with cardiotoxic effects of chemotherapy. She's made significant strides in the science community, not only as the Chief Scientific Officer at Tikkun Olam USA and founder of Messiah Medical Incorporated, but also as the lead scientific officer for Flora Growth Corporation. Dr. Annabelle is an influential advocate for position-based medicine, consulting on global clinical trials and legislation, while also sharing her insights as an international speaker. Honored as the most influential Filipino women in the world in 2022, she continues to inspire change through her work and her recent book, Mighty Flower. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Annabelle Morgan. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Annabelle.
Mabuhay, PACC, Texas. Thank you for having me. I'm here in the Philippines, and I cannot wait to speak to you all today and to inspire change. Being a woman, being a Filipino woman, and talk to you about how I bridge the gap between science, medicine, throughout my travels, and how I use my real life situations to inspire others, inspire the medical industry, and really just try to be a pillar for the Filipino people. So thank you again for having me, and I really hope you enjoy the talk today and that we can all stay connected. Hi, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I was in the Philippines in the video. I'm back home in Nashville, Tennessee now. So a little bit jet lag. I just got home last night, but really excited to be with you all. Thank you, Dr. Michelle Mraz, for opening up this amazing conference. I wanted to hear you keep talking, just amazing energy, very inspirational. Thankfully, she did the singing because I'm not doing any singing today. But let's get right into it. I'm a cell and developmental biologist. I started out in neuroscience at Georgetown University. I'm actually from Canada, but most importantly, I'm a mother. I heard in the beginning videos, a lot of us are mothers and a lot of us are entrepreneurs and wearing many hats. And it's a really special thing to be able to do. I sometimes call my husband my sixth child. I'm a mother of 5. If you could go ahead and put up the slides, I have a few slides that I want to share with you guys today. So this is my family. Little older picture. The baby in my husband's lap is 3 years old now, but 1 girl, 4 boys. So definitely a busy, awesome life. My husband is a reggae singer. He's a Grammy Award-winning reggae singer. And I'll tell you more about my other kids here as we go through the talk. But first and foremost, a mother, and celebrating you mothers out there. So go on to the next slide. And, I'll talk to you guys a little bit, just 2 seconds, about my work and how, as a cell and developmental biologist, life was very patterned. And I love how Dr. Mraz said, sometimes in your journey, things happen that are unplanned. And honestly, what I've learned in this journey is to just keep your eyes open and keep your ears open to whatever God brings in your path, because it is when you take those first steps into your journey that different things start to open up for you. And it's not until you initiate that those things will open up. So here you can see, wow, I went from chemotherapies to all of a sudden studying scorpion venom. Yes, scorpion venom, which is actually poisonous. And if we can scientifically engineer and remove and engineer the peptides that come from scorpion, we found that they were curing cancer. Not long after, and that was in 2012, we did a study with the FDA and completely were curing COVID in clinical trials in the Dominican Republic. And so the reason why that hasn't come out yet as an FDA approved product, it's in the works, and science does take time. So go to the next slide. I'm going to share you guys what happened during all of this work. You could play that video for me too. My son, my 3rd child, his name's Macario Morgan. He was born perfectly normal. He had a stroke at birth, and he was having anywhere from 200 to 500 seizures a day. Could we play that video? Will it work? Can you guys show it? It's not the funnest video, but if it doesn't play, that's okay. The video shows my son, that's Macario, having seizures, uncontrollable seizures. And so, of course, we're at the hospital. He's in ICU as a little baby, and they tried everything. They tried every drug regimen that you can imagine, medically induced coma, and for 5 weeks, just questioning what can be done for my child to be relieved from the seizures that we're doing what's called a kindling effect, which essentially means the brain does what's a domino effect. Every cell, every neuron in the brain is connected. And so what happens is it would start to teach the rest of the brain to start seizing as well. And so that's okay if this video doesn't work, because trust me, I don't love watching it, but it's basically a video of my son at 4 weeks old having uncontrollable seizures. So if you go to the next slide, it's going to show you that my son, in January 14, 2016, he was born, but then on February 10th, 2016, because we couldn't stop these seizures, he had a surgery to remove 38% of his brain. So Macario is missing pretty much all of his left brain. He's missing his left occipital lobe, his left temporal lobe, and partially we think he's missing some of his motor strip. This surgery was the first time this surgery has ever been done. And the reason why the doctors had decided to do it this way is because in a young brain, that's what we call very plastic, which means you can hope for rewiring. We wanted to preserve as much of his brain as possible. So 28 days old, Macario had this major brain surgery. It was the first time it's ever been done. If you go to the next slide, you can see what this part of the brain is responsible for. Well, immediately, left controls right. So Macario wasn't going to be able to use the right side of his body. The left occipital lobe, which really controls our vision, our eye function, it's responsible for so much more. It's our visual processing center, spatial and depth perception, object and face recognition, and memory. The temporal lobe is our processor, memory, verbal and speech sounds, comprehension. And so, I'm thinking, of course, what quality of life is my son going to have? And, really, we opened this conference up today with prayer. And, I really told God, I said, God, whatever you are giving me to deal with, I know that there's a reason, and I will love this child no matter how he presents himself. I just wanted my son to be safe. But of course, you know that I'm a scientist. So 6 months in to coming home, feeding my child out of a G-tube that we had put in, I came home at 6 months, and Macario was no different than a newborn baby. He was growing because we're feeding him, but he was no different than a newborn baby. He wasn't communicating. As you know, as a mother, 6 months in, your kid is able to do stuff, definitely laughing at you, maybe even crawling, definitely showing communication, and I wasn't getting that out of my child. And so this whole time, I just entrusted in the doctors, and I felt at this point it was time for me to start thinking a little more logically, a little more scientifically. So if you go to the next slide, this is how I started to think. I started to think about all of the neurons that we have, and how with him having such a young brain, and the fact that our brain doesn't fully develop until the age of 22, and the fact that as an adult human, we are only using 10 to 20% of our brain. What are the chances for the brain to perform what's called neuroplasticity, which essentially means protection of the neurons, the ability of the neurons to adapt and rewire? And in his case, is there a possibility for compensation of function that the area that he lost is responsible for? I mean, is there any hope? Is there any chance? Macario was on 7 medications, and I was just pushing them through his tube. And so, long story short, and there'll be time for a longer talk, hopefully one day with you all, I created a medicine for my son. I used cannabinoids from cannabis. I wanted to use something natural, very well studied, scientifically engineered. No, I didn't use the part that makes you high or that's used for recreational use. Let's be clear that every medication that is on the market pharmaceutically comes from plant compounds. And so I wasn't afraid of using a compound that maybe isn't as studied as we had hoped. So I formulated my son a medicine. I started putting it through his tube. I told nobody but my husband. I completely weaned immediately off of all 7 medications and just started pumping this through his G-tube. In 2 days, I started to see his eyes move around. In 2 months, he was crawling, not favoring left over right. Remember, I told you guys that right side is supposed to be paralyzed. He was crawling. And by 14 months old, Macario walked into his neurology appointment and just said hello at everybody, walking, not favoring left over right. Today, he's 8. You can pull up the picture of Macario, which is the next slide. Make that bigger, take my face out. Today, Macario is 8 years old. He has no developmental deficits. He's still missing 40% of his brain. He is a perfectly normal child, still missing 40% of his brain, and he's in the 2nd grade here in Nashville, Tennessee. So this is Macario's story. And, quickly after, if you go to the next slide, everything's just been organic about this. I had gone to a conference that my husband was singing at, and we met with a Forbes writer. This story is the first cannabis story that was ever written by Forbes and published by Forbes in 2018, and they call it modern day Lorenzo's oil. So celebrating women in 1992, Lorenzo's oil was a story about a mother who was trying to find any answer for her son and saved his life by trying cannabis. I guess the difference is that, my son had such a major brain surgery and had all these predictions, and God made me a scientist to save my son's life. And now our motto in life is more stories like Macario's. So if you go to the next slide, I've been really interested in being more public about my son's story, but less than just being public about it. Where's the substance behind it? Where are we doing clinical trials to actually prove the science behind the medicine? It's one thing to advocate, but it's another thing to create the substance and the proof and the data that allows you to move forward, because not everybody's going to connect with your story, right? And so if you go to the next slide of running the first clinical trial in the United Kingdom on chronic musculoskeletal pain, and you guys will love this. We were finding that a lot of people that are experiencing pain, we can help them navigate their pain without medicine and the use of their perception, the use of their mind and their frontal lobe. And there are ways to scientifically show that through specialized EEG. So this is the path now, actually just coming back from the Philippines, and there'll be some incredible news out there. But as I'm sharing my story, I'm more focused on not just cannabis, not just other plant-based medicines, but just understanding this natural ancient wisdom that we have from hundreds of years ago. And how do we take it and study it scientifically and check all the boxes that traditional pharma wants to see in order for us to be able to normalize safer medicine and to be able to just understand and personalize medicine more so that we could tailor them to the patient. So that's the mission now. I'm all over the world speaking, but most importantly, running several clinical trials on several different conditions. So like I said, just got back from the Philippines a week before that, Africa, and running this study in the UK, and a really special one you'll hear about soon at UCLA. If you go to the next slide, this is my book. I'd love for you guys to pick it up on Amazon, read it. I decided to publish with Forbes Book because, I just felt like I wanted to reach people that wouldn't normally listen to a story about cannabis. This book is a memoir. It doesn't advocate for cannabis. It just advocates for being able to study it. It shows its history. It shows the history of plant medicines into modern medicine today. So you talk about bridging the gap. Let's bridge the gap between the ancient wisdom that allowed for a life of 95 years in villages. How do we take advantage of what they know, the teas they drink, and create them into modern medicine today? And another way to bridge the gap is within your family. If you go to the next step, you guys are going to love this story. My son, world champion basketball player, the older one, the taller one on the right, his name is BJ Williams. He's, like I said, a world championship AAU basketball player here in the United States. He's always worn number 38, and I've never known why. Never put two and two together. And one day he was getting interviewed, and they asked him, "Why do you wear number 38, BJ?" And he said, "Well, my favorite player, Kevin Durant, said that your number should represent something. And my biggest fan is my little brother, Macario, and he's missing 38% of his brain." So I shared this with Joyce the last time I saw Joyce and friends. And, we just came back from the Philippines on BJ's 14th birthday on March 16th of this year. As you can see in the picture, we hosted a camp. We brought kids in that didn't even have shoes, kids that have never seen a hardwood basketball floor. And if you're Filipino, you know that basketball is life. Basketball is a religion out there. And we gave away shirts, basketball, backpacks, you name it. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful to see how Macario's story has individually impacted my son and how he can individually impact others. And his mission statement for his foundation is more stories like Macario's, whether that be in healthcare or whether that be helping a family, in need. And we were so happy to be able to launch his foundation this year in the Philippines. And so, that's our story. Follow us. You can put up my scan code, drannabelle.com. I'm all over social media as well. I'm probably not as good as others. I'm trying to get there. I do have a podcast coming out, but love to connect, love to talk to everybody, and love to bring courage and hope and faith to others, because miracles are real and miracles are more common than we believe. So stay positive and be that woman. We all have a sixth sense. Be that strong woman, because we can move mountains, and we will move mountains, especially together. Thank you so much for having me, Joyce and Team PACC Texas. Thank you for having me, and I can't wait to meet you all in person, hopefully soon. Salamat.
Now? All right. Okay. More technical issues. And thank you so much, Dr. Morgan. That was truly, truly heartfelt. And I could never get enough of hearing your story and the miracle that you've done and how this could help. And I'm especially excited because my mom's recovering from cancer, and I can't wait to see how this could actually, have an effect on her as well. Our next amazing speaker is none other than the CEO of this wonderful platform that we get to use, of the new channel. Ms. Apple Esplana Manansala is a co-owner and vice president of Puzzlebox BPO Incorporated and the president and CEO of the New Channel Media Corporation. Not only has she gained over 2 decades of experience in marketing and business development, but she has also worked in various capacities across the Philippines, Asia, and the US. Apple is not just a businesswoman, she is also a champion for women leadership and family values, founding the Global Women Who Rule community and developing family-oriented online shows. Her credentials include a degree in fine arts, a certification as a digital leader, and an MSME Hero Award. However, beyond those accomplishments, Apple identifies most as a woman, a mother, a wife, a team player, a digital only for good advocate, and a responsible Filipino. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Miss Apple Esplana Manansala.
When Joyce invited me to be part of this women inspiring event, I was flattered. I didn't have second thoughts because this is a great opportunity for me to allow more people to realize how digital must be used only for good. How online connectivity can be used and shared to better others. How I can continue to use my voice to fulfill my mission and be able to share many things that I do, and especially my advocacy, despite our distance. It's been a busy month of March for all of us. As for me, it has been a rare chance to become part of different events and conversations to celebrate the gift of being a woman. In all the chances that I had in conversation with children, students, young professionals, and the young ones, I have always end my speeches with, please help me change the world. Now I realize this is a great chance for me to explain to all of you what do I mean when I say, please help me change the world? And what am I doing to indeed help change the world? So here's my ABCs to share. Letter A, admission. My admission. Getting into this virtual stage makes me giddy and nervous at the same time. I have always been, like many of you, afraid to be judged. There were many times in the past that I'd like to keep my opinion to myself or my feelings to myself because I was too afraid to be misunderstood. On Saturday afternoon in the year of 2017, I was rushed to the hospital because my blood pressure shoots up rating 230 over 180. Many told me I was lucky it wasn't stroke. I'm actually sharing this experience for the very first time as I have promised to Joyce that I will make this a very special one. That experience, the adrenaline, the stress, the anxiety made me realize so many things. Seeing your husband and your very young son worry that they may lose you was not cool. For someone who grew up never afraid to die, the thought of leaving two of the most important people in my life who are also here beside me at this very moment was crazy. The realization it brought me hit really hard. While my doctors figured out what could be wrong, eventually I was clinically diagnosed to have anxiety disorder. The series of tests showed that the anxiety was brought about by the trauma of losing someone through death because of sickness, something I never thought I would ever have to admit, so I'd be able to get over it. A brief history of deaths in my lifetime, which apparently I was never able to process properly. I lost my younger sister to leukemia, to some it's cancer of the blood, when she was only 9 and I was only 11 years old. When it happened, I felt so useless as a big sister. My young, innocent self felt that I couldn't take care of my sister well. That's why she got sick. At some point, I was blaming myself for her death and wished it would have been me. I grew up questioning my capability to become a sister or a friend to someone. I lost my father 6 months after I got married. After our family battled a 5-year kidney terminal illness. My husband and I had a miscarriage with our first supposed twin children before we even met them. All these experiences of losing through death, the downside of having a sick family member, had in fact traumatized me. Not known to many, I had to undergo series of serious medications to improve my health condition. I was diagnosed with trauma. Trauma because I couldn't and I wasn't able to process the right emotions from losing someone. I had to learn to process my emotions, and it meant that I had to understand and kind of re experience the pain, that agony of losing someone I love. It was only in the later part of the year 2021 when I felt that I was already okay. I never thought that being strong physically could make you sick psychologically. I thought it was a normal condition to avoid going through the odd feeling of losing people you love because you don't want to be too hurt. But I had to admit I was wrong. B, be yourself. There are many things that make us who we are, but there is nothing more important in this world than being true to yourself. Admitting that I was sick meant I had to face my demons. Growing up, I would often question why I was different and why my perspectives on many things were different from others. This became even more apparent when my husband and I started Puzzle Box BPO, our first baby business. My husband has been in the IT and call center operations before he decided to put up his own, while I came from PR, marketing, business development, and media management jobs. We came from very different worlds. I was an accidental co-owner of the business because the circumstances forced me to support my husband to operate it. In the beginning, I was hesitant to join him because I was really enjoying my job as a media executive. But then I had to give up because he needed me. I was questioning many things. It even came to a point that I was blaming my husband for losing many international job opportunities that came because I had to stuck it with him and operate Puzzle Box. Fast forward now, Puzzle Box BPO Inc. Puzzle Box BPO Inc., my accidental job, has been in business for 11 years. Puzzle Box has brought me to some international speaking opportunities, has given me international consultancy jobs as well, and importantly, in all those years, I was with my husband helping brands and businesses globally to solve their digital marketing crisis and manage their day-to-day customer service operations. In the process of developing the business of Puzzle Box, I was also able to find myself, and not only that, accept myself too. Accept that not everyone will appreciate the things that I do, not everyone will like my enthusiasm, not everyone or not everything that I wanted for myself will happen the way I wanted it, and that accidents will happen and can create beautiful transformations in one's life. When we started Puzzle Box in 2013, my only motivation was just to help my husband and support him. It was only during the global pandemic in 2020 when I realized why we had to do Puzzle Box together. During the pandemic, we had so many opportunities. During the pandemic, we had an opportunity to create another business because we had staff who will be displaced and lose their jobs. TNC, the new channel, a social media alternative new media platform that we are all using right now, became the opportunity for us to reallocate our manpower resources during the pandemic. We understood how important it was to have a steady job during the pandemic, so we had to create something for the employees. In short, if there was no Puzzle Box, there will be no TNC. C, consistency and commitment. After a year of operating TNC, the business grew on me. The whole pandemic and putting it up and operating another business made a huge impact on me because I had the first-hand experience of seeing wonderful transformations for myself and for the people I met along the way. And that includes, of course, Joyce, Andy, and the rest of the people that we're working with behind the camera. So many friendships were built through the business we created, and importantly, many people were helped. It wasn't just the staff who had work. The help was extended to the MSMEs who needed support so their businesses will be seen by other people. It was extended to many others who I didn't know anymore. Not only that, also during the pandemic and through TNC, I was able to create a women empowerment community called Global Women Who Rule. GWWR started out as an idea of my personal contribution for content creation for TNC. It had very clear goal to recognize Filipino women from different parts of the globe, to reach out to them, connect them, and be able to share and do things or do good things together online. The reception of the first Global Women Who Rule was outstanding. Many people were drawn because we told stories differently. Michelle could attest to this, the previous speaker, the first speaker for today, because she was actually part of Global Women Who Rule 2021. Now in our fourth year, we have almost 100 Filipino community women leaders connected to each other and continue to share stories that will impact more people around the world. Please allow me to take this chance to promote the upcoming fourth Global Women Who Rule. Kindly save the date, 25th of May, 2024. It's no longer March this year. I promise you 22 new Global Women Who Rule profiles, 22 amazing Filipino women with wonderful stories that will surely make a difference in your perspectives. D, discipline. One of my favorite quotes is, your values is your value. My life choices has brought me to where I am today. My usual human resource discussions, aka argument with my husband as business partners, would go around, given the choice, will you work with someone who is very good at what he does but has an attitude? Or will you choose the humble and kind one, but in all caps, you still need to train? My husband usually shakes his head because my choice will always be to the kind and trainable ones. Or often, I'd even choose the wild card. I always find excitement in providing opportunities to someone to do something new, something different, even if he didn't have the right experience for the job. I was given the same chance. That's why it excites me to do the same to others. Having a strong front, this automatic personal choice was never obvious to many. Others would think that I care less. But the real me will always choose to give chance to others. I like giving opportunities to those who are left behind. In my belief, skills can be learned, but discipline comes first. You can be ahead of others if you are disciplined because you will have better life choices if you choose the right things to do. If you have better chance, you will have better chances if you know that you're doing the right things. E, evaluate your lifestyle. Everything is a matter of perspective. In the past 4 years operating TNC and wearing several hats, many would ask me, you're too busy. How do you manage all the things that you do all together? My usual answer is, believe it or not, I don't do things at the same time. By learning and exercising to prioritize things over many other priorities has greatly helped in managing my time, quality time for myself, my friends, and for my family. TNC became a catalyst for me to function based on what makes me happy. It's not it's not an easy task to run a media platform. Believe me, I have never dreamt of being where I am now. Or do I have a clear vision of what the future will be? All I know and understand is that TNC is a gift from the Lord, that through it, my voice is being heard, my ability to create new things comes to fruition, I can help other people by fulfilling their dreams or helping them promote their businesses or their advocacies. And there are so many more beautiful stories that need to be told. And if I don't do it, I'm not sure if anyone will. I always remind myself these are all enough reasons to endure the growing pains that I am experiencing along the way. I know God is preparing me for bigger things, and I will do the best that I can to be ready when that day comes. I recently watched this TED Talk on moving on from a loved one who died. The video made me go back to checking my whys. Why do I do the things that I do in the first place? It made me realize one thing about being consistent with my advocacy, Global Women Who Rule. I always saw GWWR as my stairway to heaven kind of project, and same and true to this day. I do it to take my chance of having acquainted back with my loved ones who have crossed over ahead of me. And that through sharing good things with other people, I will have a sure seat in heaven when I die. And then someone asked me recently, but why through women? I realized and looked back that maybe I've always had that emptiness from 31 years ago when my sister died. And deep down inside me, I have always had the desire to care for more women, because that way I am able to continue to become a sister to someone. That is the magic of the journey. Every day is an opportunity for me to understand the deeper essence of doing many things that I do, one at a time. At the end of the day, I know that I am a work in progress. I never forget to always reevaluate myself and my relationship with people around me so that I can keep my feet on the ground and continue to grow with those who really care. I will not complete my entire ABC up to Z. I only have up to E to honor one of the best people I was gifted with, my frenemy, my best friend, and my husband, Erwin. My E allows me to do the things that I do. That's why I can share myself with all of you. Happy International Women's Month to everyone. May we all acknowledge to celebrate women every day. Now, I encourage you to also create your own A to Z and find your A to E. To end this, the not so obvious advertising geek in me wants to share a recent and very timely advertisement which I saw online. Special thanks to VML Manila, the unification of Wonderman Thompson and VML YNR, and to their client Nestle Philippines, and to their ECD, Mr. Jody, for allowing me to use it. Let's watch this video.
Consider, ponder, and notice for a moment the comma. An underappreciated punctuation mark, yet when words overflow, go over time, and are overworked, it gives them that much-needed break. Think of words as clothes in a laundromat. The comma would separate the whites, the reds, and the cashmere tankini. They're the speed bumps on a verbal freeway, the fermata in a sonata, the and the in a Hitchcock classic. They can be the boundaries between upper antipolo and lower antipolo, or between your work life and your life. That is the comma. Not a stop, not a halt, nor an end, but a perfectly timed break. The kind everyone deserves. So go on. Have a pause, a beat, a minute. Have a break, comma. Have a Kit Kat.
The online world can be noisy at times. I encourage you to take a much-deserved break as deemed necessary. Taking a pause will allow you to have a different perspective on things that really, truly matter in your life. My wish for all is to find that happiness where most, if not everything that we do in our day-to-day lives can stem from. And I'm glad that somehow I'm already there. So join me. So yes, you must take a break, but don't quit. It will surely help you reevaluate yourselves. Time for yourself is very important because if you want to change the world, you have to be the change.
I'm on. Can you guys hear me? Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Apple. My gosh, that was, you got me teary-eyed just because of what you've been through. And I'm just grateful that you're here, that we can work together today. Our next speaker, our keynote speaker, is someone that I've had the honor to meet as well, and when I attended her iconic conference this year, and has truly made a difference in my life as well. Ms. Sherry Tree is a best-selling author, professional keynote speaker, executive business coach, world-renowned sales trainer, and entrepreneur. She's the founder and CEO of Codebreaker Technologies, with clients in more than 180 countries worldwide, including the Philippines. Sherry has spoken to hundreds of thousands of entrepreneurs and sales professionals globally, and has been featured in numerous international publications, sharing the stage with icons as Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Susie Orman, Sir Richard Branson, to name a few. Sherry has also lectured at Harvard University, UC Berkeley, and is considered the #1 personality-based sales trainer in the world, thanks to her game-changing Codebreaker personality coding technology, which she will be sharing here in a minute. Yet beyond her professional achievements, Sherry Tree remains most defined by her roles as a woman, an entrepreneur, a mentor, a game changer, an advocate for personality-based sales training, and a responsible global citizen. It is my pleasure to present to you our keynote speaker, Ms. Sherry Tree.
There's 6,500 foreign languages spoken in the world, but we believe only one language has the power to unite and connect the human race. We call that language BANK. And BANK is a methodology that we created, which is personality-based. It's rooted in the principles of the 4 personality types, dating back thousands of years, with a very powerful modern-day twist that, when applied to business and relationship, creates extraordinary results.
The #1 problem is people want to make more money and they don't know how. So they have a problem actually connecting with their prospect, their lead, their customer, the person across from them. We teach them how to communicate more effectively and figure out their personality type, and then how to get a better connection, and it automatically leads, when people like you, they want to buy your product.
What we specifically do for our clients is we teach them how to increase their influence, their income, and their impact up to 300%.
It's opened doors that I didn't even know existed. I immediately saw the impact that it could have in education.
Not only has it increased my income,
but it has absolutely changed my impact and my influence.
Bankcode is an amazing technology that you can use to find out about other people rather than just yourself. I'm communicating better with my friends, my family, my clients.
Getting to yes sooner, getting to what matters to the person sooner by just listening to what they value.
And really just gave me an opportunity to connect with people in a much different way.
Making it a win-win-win for all the people involved.
It's literally lighting a fire inside of me that I didn't know I had.
And it was really a no-brainer for me.
There's a lot of assessments that are in the market. Ours is unique originally because most every other assessment was based in psychology, whereas Bank was based in what we call biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, which was the science of buying behavior, or what we now understand as buy-in behavior. It's the science of communication. So it gave us a very unique ability to predict someone's buying behavior in less than 90 seconds, and now in nanoseconds using our Codebreaker artificial intelligence. So if you want to learn more and you want to come join our Make People Matter movement, you want to discover more about yourself and your personality, come visit us at codebreakerglobal.com. Codebreaker Global, make people matter. Microphone is muted. Oh, there we go. I'm unmuted. Hi, everyone. It's such an honor to be here. Congratulations and thank you, Joyce, for asking me to be a part of this amazing event to inspire change. I actually just flew through the Philippines. I was over in Thailand for 2 weeks, and I grew up over in Hawaii for several years of my life. I'm in Hawaii right now. I just flew in last night, so I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning this morning to be a part of this incredible broadcast. And Filipinos are a very, very special group of people. They're some of my favorite people because they are so kind, they have very big hearts, and they love other people. And I believe the world needs more of these amazing people. So thank you for inviting me to be part of this very special broadcast today. I want to bridge the gap on something that's very, very important to me, and that is helping people be more successful, helping people be more financially successful, having more money to be able to do the things that you want and love so that you can serve more, so that you can create more experiences for your family, so that you can live the life that you absolutely love. And so I'm going to bridge the gap on something that I believe will really help to create phenomenal success for you in your business endeavors, and hopefully be able to help you bridge the gap in communication and building much stronger, powerful relationships. So I'm going to take you back with me. More than 20 years ago, I was inspired reading Robert Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to be successful. I knew I wanted to live a life where my dreams could come true. And so Robert Kiyosaki says, if you're going to be a business owner or an entrepreneur, you need to be great in sales. And so I decided I would follow his advice and get involved in sales. And I jumped in and became a financial advisor. And in the business model that I worked, I was working on full commission. So I didn't have any type of salary or base income. And my first year, I crushed it. I made $700 as in like total income. So I was a failure in every way financially in this new industry. But I decided I didn't quit. And I had a dream that was really worth living. And I want you to consider, for you too, whether you're part of the Chamber of Commerce here or whatever business you're building, maybe you're all the way back home in the Philippines right now and you're watching this in the middle of the night. Don't quit on your dreams. And that's really important. So for 5 years, I really worked very hard to be able to get better in my business, to be able to increase my skill sets and improve my mindsets and be able to be more successful financially. And so I read a lot of books and I attended a lot of seminars like this. I attended webinars. I hired coaches, paid them money I didn't have to get better. And over that 5-year period, I did get better. And I took my income from $700 to $72,000. And some would say that I was being successful. But the funny thing is, I didn't feel anything close to success. As a matter of fact, I was $30,000 in credit card debt, renting an apartment, couldn't qualify for a home, and driving a salvage title BMW, playing the fake it till you make it game. And I want you to ask yourself, like, have you ever been there? Has life ever been really challenging and maybe even discouraging financially? Well, that's when I realized something's broken. And I'm not sure if it's me that's broken or was it the system that was broken. And I've got great news for you today. It wasn't me, it wasn't you. It's the system that's broken. The system was programming people like me and you to fail by basically brainwashing us into believing one of the greatest lies ever told, which was that sales was a numbers game. Ask yourself if you've ever been told that in order to get more yeses, you have to get more nos. Have you ever heard that before? I know that I heard that a lot. And for the first 5 years, I bought into that philosophy. And that's what made me do the hustle and grind lifestyle, trading time for dollars and feeling stuck in the rat race. Well, this is when I decided to take a few steps back. And when I took a few steps back to really figure out, I was not someone who wanted to go for no. Matter of fact, I woke up and said, that's actually one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. Because the truth is, in order to get more yeses, you actually have to get more yeses, not more nos. So today, what I want to do is I want to bridge the gap for you. If you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, and if you want to live a life that you love, if you want to be able to make the money that you absolutely deserve, and you want to be able to build the relationships that are high quality, rewarding relationships, then I'm going to bridge the gap with you today with something I discovered. I discovered a very, very big secret. And this secret turned me into a multimillionaire. And I became dedicated to sharing it with others all over the world. And that is why I'm getting up at crazy early hours of the morning on my very first day of vacation. And by the way, up in my hotel room, I've got my little 3.5-year-old son. This is Kai. And Kai woke up when I got up and he started crying really loud that mommy was leaving because I'm down here in the lobby broadcasting for you today. But I'm committed to doing that. And I explained that to my son, and here's why. Because the secret that I discovered was absolutely life-changing. And I want you to know this secret. Matter of fact, the secret is that sales is not a numbers game. It's a people game. And once I discovered the concept of a people game, then my entire focus changed. And this is where I'm going to bridge the gap and where I want to teach you something. So I hope that you're taking some great notes right now because these 20 minutes together could be transformational. Okay. So what I discovered was that when you're doing business with other human beings, and not all people are the same. Of course, we intuitively know that, right? But nobody's teaching us what to do differently based on the people that we're talking to. And I discovered that there is an art and a science to people. So my journey of discovery took me back 2,500 years in time to the Greek philosopher named Hippocrates. Hippocrates was known as the father of medicine. And what he discovered was that he could take the entire human race, all of us, and divide us into 4 different groups. And each group was so different one from another, he could treat them with medicine differently. And he called this the theory of the 4 temperaments, the 4 temperaments. Now, when you fast forward to our modern day world, there's been a number of different personality assessment models that have been created for you to figure out which one of the 4 you are, whether you're talking about the DISC system or MBTI or Insights or management drives or the color code or the Berkman method or the Keirsey temperament sorter, on and on. There's all types of different personality assessments. And ask yourself, have you ever taken one of them before? Right? They're pretty fun. Matter of fact, I was fascinated with what I learned about myself in these assessments. But my fascination grew into frustration when I realized not one single one of those assessments ever made me more money. Not one of them ever helped me close more sales or engage more clients. And I remember feeling so frustrated. Then I said, wait a minute. If it's been proven for thousands of years that there's 4 different types of people, I wonder if they make buying decisions differently. And I wonder if what makes one person say yes makes another person say no. And that's when I got an idea. And I said, show me an assessment model that can tell me not who I am, because no customer ever cared, but who my customer is, who my client is, who my potential buyer is. And it didn't exist. So I thought, I'm going to build an experiment and I'm going to see if I can crack the code to figuring out which of the 4 buying types of people are in front of me. And if I can learn how to talk to them and communicate to them effectively in a way that unlocks the yes and avoids the no. And so I ended up inventing a methodology. And this is where I'm going to continue to help you bridge the gap. I invented a methodology called BANK, where the acronym was of the 4 personality types, but instead of it being based in psychology like every other assessment model, it was based in what I call biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, the science of buying behavior. So I'm going to give you a quick little introduction here. And don't worry, if you want to learn more, we're going to create the opportunity for you to absolutely be able to learn more. So the B in BANK stands for blueprint. I use the color blue because this type of personality type is very conservative, inside the box, wants the rules, the processes, the steps, and the systems. They're very risk adverse. They're cautious in the way they move forward. And they require a very particular way to engage them, a very interesting communication style. The A in BANK, I use the color red, right? These are the movers and shakers and millionaire makers. They're red hot firecrackers. They act like they just drank Red Bull for breakfast and they want red carpet VIP treatment. Well, this type of personality type valued things very differently than the blueprint. Okay, so I needed to completely adapt the way that I communicated with them. The N in BANK stands for nurturing. And this is where I use the color yellow. Nurturing people are warm like sunshine, sweet like honey, and they've got a heart of gold. And the nurturing personality type, they're not even motivated by money. They're motivated by relationships and authenticity and community and teamwork and things that are matters of the heart, not the wallet. And the K in BANK stands for knowledge. These are the people that want the data, the science, the facts, the figures. They don't trust anything that you have to say until they know that it can be backed and proven. And that's what spells out the BANK acronym. So here's these 4 different types of people, right? Let's see, 4 different types of people. And I use the acronym of BANK. So building this little experiment, this is where I'm going to bridge the gap. I found a way that I could do this very quick assessment model in less than 90 seconds with my clients by asking them to take a look at these 4 cards and simply sort them in order. I asked them to tell me which one was most important to them, down to which one was least important to them. And I told them that this was going to help me serve them better or get to know them better and save us both some time. Friends, what happened was extraordinary. When I started doing this exercise with my clients, everything changed. My income went from $72,000 in 1 year, my best year ever, to over $500,000 in just 12 months, a 7x increase. And if you're watching this broadcast live, in the comments, I want you to type 7x. If you would love to see your income go up 7 times in the next 12 months by just doing something very simple and asking your clients to crack their code, type 7x into the comments. And the coolest part is my time working went from 60 to 80 hours a week down to 20 to 30. Now, I know that you're busy and you're probably married and you have a family and you have kids. Could you imagine if you could figure out a way to make 7 times more income in 1/3 the time? What would that do for your life? What would that do for your relationships? What would that do for your goals and your dreams? If this is helping you, I want you to type yes into the chat box. Okay, so this is where I bridge the gap. And I now teach this system to people all over the world. And I call it my BANK system. I wrote a book called Why They Buy, and I'm going to give it to each one of you absolutely for free. So let me just keep talking for a few more minutes and explain a little bit more about how this works. So when I would get someone's bank code, and what I discovered was that every human in the world is not just one of the 4, they're actually all 4. And if you think of a bank code like a PIN code, if you take out your debit card and go put it into an ATM machine, it's going to ask you for a 4-digit PIN code if you want your money to come out. Well, guess what? Every person in the world has a 4-digit bank code. And if you can communicate to them in their exact code sequence, a yes will come out. And I want you to imagine what could become possible if you could figure out how to exactly communicate to another human being if it created a yes response. In business, if you get more yeses, you're going to make a lot more money. And this system's designed to at least triple the amount of money that you're able to make in the same amount of time, if not less. Most of our clients make a lot more money in less time, right? We just talked about that. Imagine if you could get a yes from your spouse or the person that you're dating. It could be life altering. What if you could avoid an argument by learning how to communicate effectively to the other person? I've had people come back to me and say, this bank system saved my marriage. And I said, wow, how did it do that? And they began to explain that they're married to a different bank code. And you've often heard opposites attract. And what we discovered is that opposites attack. What works for one partner does not work for the other. And then I started having families coming to me and say, your bank system made me a better parent. It saved my relationship with my children. Matter of fact, some told me how they had an estranged relationship and their child wouldn't even talk to them anymore. Maybe years had gone by. What if you could learn the bank code of your child and communicate to them differently? You see, often in parenting, we give the advice of parenting the child you actually have, not the one you wish you had. That makes you a completely different, better parent. We've got stories that'll blow your mind. But the one that changed my life the most was when we had a family come to me and say, Sherry, your bank system just prevented a suicide in our family. And at that point, once I heard that, I said, I really need to understand what's happening. And they explained the dynamics in the family, and they explained about the teenager who attempted suicide and why, based on their code and feeling isolated and alienated differently than the code of the other members of the family. They didn't feel good enough. Their self-esteem and self-worth was being impacted. And do you know that one of our bank trainers intervened? As a matter of fact, this story happened over here in Hawaii, where I am. And she found out that the mom, the dad, and the daughter, the older sister in the family, were all the action personality types, go, 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 driven by being the best. And the son, the teenage son, who attempted suicide, was the knowledge personality type, more introverted than extroverted, and had a completely different way of looking at life. After our bank trainer intervened, again, she's not a therapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. She's simply a bank trainer. She went and assessed what the family was with their different personality types and found out that the son was a knowledge. And after explaining how the bank system worked, the son perked up and he said, Mom and Dad, I'm not broken. I'm just a K. And as a matter of fact, I'm smarter than all of you. And they were able to create humor by understanding that the differences were valuable. And this is again where I want to bridge the gap on communication, not just on how to use it in business to make money, but how to improve and build amazing quality relationships. And so I'm so honored to be a part of this. The reason that I'm on a mission is because back when I was a broke financial advisor, struggling on how to even make $100,000 a year, I prayed to God and I asked him to show me the way to becoming a millionaire. I had so many dreams that I wanted to be able to fulfill. I wanted to live life truly on my terms. And I wanted to create a massive impact for other people. So I made him a promise. And I said, if you show me how to become a millionaire, then I will dedicate the rest of my life to teaching other people how to do it too. This is me today keeping my promise. Okay, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be able to share this with you right here, right now. And so I'm so excited because our company's mission is to help every single person in the world crack their code so that they have a better understanding of themselves. The Greek philosopher said to know thyself. And this is step one in life, to really understand your code and what makes you tick. I'm going to offer you a free assessment. I'm going to let you go online digitally and be able to crack your code. You're going to see these cards. Matter of fact, there's 35 different languages that you can choose from, including Filipino. You can crack your code and sort these cards into the sequence of most like you to least like you. For me, my bank code is I'm action first. I'm a go, 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 make big things happen. And then second, I'm nurturing. My heart is really big. I care deeply about people. And that's kind of what led us to our mission to connect and empower humanity and make people matter. On the back of our cards, you'll see make people matter. That's our tagline. You matter. People matter. Okay. And I'm knowledge third. This is the third part of my bank code. And I'm blueprint last, right? I'm blueprint last. And that's my bank code, ANKB. There's 24 different code combinations. So we're going to let you take the assessment totally for free. You're going to get a $99 report. And this is thanks to Joyce and the entire group putting on and sponsoring this event. This is our way of helping to inspire change for you to have insight into yourself. But that's only step one. That's only step one. Step two, and you can scan this QR code right now. Take out your phone and scan the QR code. Step two is to understand the code of the other people that you're interacting with. Start with your spouse, start with your children, and then start using this with your clients. I'm going to do a full webinar for anybody who wants to learn more about this system. I'm going to teach you the secrets, the science, and the system behind bank to help you be able to increase your ability to communicate, your ability to close, your ability to recruit, your ability to negotiate, your ability to build relationships with all four of these different personality styles. Okay. So I want to give that away as a gift. The second thing that I want to give away as a gift is if you crack your code, I'm going to give every single one of you a copy of my book, Why They Buy. I personally wrote this book. I didn't ghostwrite it. I wrote it because I wanted you to have my heart and soul and all of my science and all of my systems inside this book. And I'm going to give you a digital copy of it totally for free. You've got to crack your code. You're going to put in your name, phone number, and email. And then I'm going to send you your bank code report, and I'm going to give you access to the book. How you get the book is I'm going to ask that you watch a 15-minute video to learn more about how bank can help you become a better human being, how you can be more successful in business, more successful in your relationships, and more successful in life. If you watch that short video, then you can claim access to that book and an action guide that goes with it, which is like, how do you put it in motion? I don't want you to just read my book and go to the beach. I want you to read my book and implement it. I want you to read my book and begin getting results. I want you to begin having better communications with the people that you care most about in life. And if you're an entrepreneur and a business owner, I want you to be able to make a lot more money as a result. What bank does is this designed to help you increase your influence, your income, and your impact by at least 300%. Why? Because bank is ultimately the art and science of influence. How do you communicate with another person in a way that unlocks the yes and avoids the no? Okay, type yes into the chat box if you want to be more influential. If you want to be more influential, you can use this to get a job promotion if you're a W-2 employee. You can use this to get a yes for someone to go on a date with you, maybe even marry you. You can use this to get a yes from your child to get them to eat their vegetables or clean up their room or brush their teeth, if we're talking to my son. Okay. And so this is how this system works. I want you to have access to this. And for those of you that want to go on a deeper dive and you want to start experimenting, I'm going to do one more fun thing. I want to let you actually use our tools and technology in a 14-day trial for only $1. Why would I want to do that? Well, if you look at these 4 cards that I'm holding up, what happened was we started having clients all over the world using these 4 cards on appointments with their clients. Okay, these 4 cards. And what if you're not face to face? Like right now, you are in a virtual setting for me. I can't physically hand you these cards and put them through my camera. But what we created as a technology company was a digital version of this, which is why we put up the link for you to go crack your code online. So we created a digital technology where we've cracked the code of more than 365,000 people online have taken this assessment. Over 100 countries around the world, people are taking this assessment. And speaking of the Philippines and why I love the Philippines, we have strategic relationship partners in the Philippines, including universities that are partnering with Codebreaker to be able to bring this bank system to every single university student going through their education. Imagine what that can do for the future of your country, for the future of our world. And this is why I love the Filipinos. Okay, so going back to the technology, then the next thing that we created as a tech company was artificial intelligence. What if we could use an AI? It's a big buzzword today, right? Artificial intelligence. Well, we came up with an AI where you could pull up someone's profile on LinkedIn, for example, and push one of our AI buttons, and the AI would analyze their entire profile and generate a bank code prediction. What if you want to send me a message on LinkedIn where you can create a connection, hopefully schedule an appointment with me, and be able to build a relationship with me in business? Well, our AI is going to be able to tell you and give you a prediction on what Sherry's bank code is and how to reach out to me, how to connect with me, how to inbox message me, and the things that you should say to get my attention so that I actually agree to wanting to meet with you. Could you imagine how powerful that would be? So that's part of our AI. Our AI was written up in Forbes magazine and said, this is the future of sales. Why would you ever want to blindly go talk to another potential prospective customer without knowing their bank code? Because let me share a quick little statistic with you. A study was done by the Chally Group a number of years ago, and they said, I wonder if personality types matter in the sales process. So they went and did a series of studies unrelated to bank. And what they came back and published was astonishing. And I want you to listen up. This is where I'm bridging the gap for you. They said that only 18% of your customers, 18% of buyers are going to buy from a salesperson, a business owner, an entrepreneur, a consultant who doesn't match the buyer's personality type. Only 18% of people are going to buy from you if they don't match your personality type, versus 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. I'm going to say that closer. 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. Wait a minute. You're saying that you can get a yes 8 out of 10 times by just matching their personality type? That's exactly what I'm saying to you right now, my friends. And so we built the technology to be able to do that. If you want to experiment around with it, then once you've cracked your code online with the QR code, once you've watched that 15-minute video, you can add the free book and action guide to your shopping cart. That's a $49.95 value. I want to give it to you for free. I want you to get access to the system. And then you can watch one more quick little video where I explain to you how our technology works, and you can activate a $1 trial for 14 days. That's going to let you do unlimited code cracks. You can go out and share your link with people and get them starting to crack their code. And we're going to give you, every time someone cracks their code, we're going to create a report for you on, hey, your friend or your colleague just cracked their code. Here's their name, phone number, email, and here's the top tips of how to communicate, negotiate, and close the sale. Good luck on your appointment and take it to the bank. We're going to let you do that unlimited for 14 days. And you can experiment with our AI. Speaking of AI, we created a new AI. If you love ChatGPT and what that does, imagine ChatGPT infused with the bank codes. Imagine an AI being able to write copy or create an email or a social media post for exactly the bank code of the person that you want to deliver that message to. This is like throwing a dart straight into the bullseye. And so I would be honored if you want to be able to test it out. If you want to continue with the full subscription, it's $99 a month, but don't worry. Our system is designed to help you make a lot more money by teaching you how to get a lot more yeses. And some of those yeses are worth way more than money. This is where this becomes priceless. So if you want to learn more, I'm going to be happy to do a webinar for you. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and be able to teach you. I'll coordinate it with Joyce, and we will coordinate a time where you can absolutely learn a lot more about this system. Most importantly, and this goes all the way back to the beginning of our mission, our movement, and our mantra. Our vision is to crack the code of every single human in the world, because you have a bank code whether you know what it is or not. And every human you're interacting with in life, personally and professionally, has a bank code too. And if you can learn what that code is, then you can communicate with authenticity. You can communicate with transparency. You can communicate in a way that creates collaboration, optimization, and a much more meaningful relationship. This is not just the golden rule. This is the platinum rule. Do unto others as they would have done unto themselves. This is going to help you do that. And that puts you in a power, empowered. I love Les Brown's quote. He got a hold of our system. If you know the great motivational speaker, Les Brown, he said, bank is a game changer for any entrepreneur or sales professional. The system can strengthen your confidence. Imagine how much more confident you're going to be when you talk to someone in a way that unlocks the yes instead of a no. It's powerful. It's fun. Step number 2 is expand your selling skills. This one's going to make you so much better in business. Most people in business don't even want to be in sales. Sales is like some dirty word, but sales is influence. And if you can influence someone for the better and create a win-win scenario where they say yes and you get paid because you're offering them a solution that they need and deserve to have access to, amazing. And bank can dramatically increase your income. I don't care where you live, whether you're in Texas at the Chambers of Commerce watching this broadcast, or you're all the way back home in the Philippines, or anywhere around the world like me in Hawaii right now. I want you to be able to have a life that you love. And that's why our mission is to connect and empower humanity. Friends, we're living at a time right now where there's a significant amount of disruption. There's a lot of stress in the world marketplace right now, the political stress, the financial stress, the work and job stress, the family stress. Families are under pressure more than they've ever been before. And we've got tools and we've got training and we've got technology to be able to help you navigate the game of life, to create more meaningful relationships, to be the change, to bridge the gap, to helping humans communicate more effectively. I want to leave you with this. Today, in just the United States alone, more than 3,000 teenagers a day are attempting suicide. They don't feel heard. They don't feel understood. They don't feel seen. We have a massive problem on our hands in humanity. The human family is broken, and the human family needs something that can connect it and empower it and pull it back together. You deserve it. I deserve it. Our children and the future world deserves it. And so I just want to thank Joyce for inviting me to be a part of this amazing conference. I'm going to head back to meet with my family. I'm going to have an amazing week's vacation. I want you to be able to have an amazing life. If you want to learn more, we will be in touch and we'll help you be able to learn more. But at the minimum, please accept my gift. Go and crack your code and have a moment of self-discovery. Share it with other people and let them have that same moment. And then talk about how you can communicate with each other differently in a way that optimizes your relationship instead of compromises your relationship. And if you can do that, then you'll be well on the way to helping us with our mission and our movement to make people matter. And if you're looking for additional streams of income, I've got some news for you that I'll share in our webinar. We're growing like crazy and we're looking for ambassadors of change, people who want to inspire other people, people who want to help us bridge this gap for humanity. There's an opportunity to be affiliated with us. There's even an opportunity to get certified with us so that you can go out there and teach this to other amazing human beings, because our future generations need it and depend on it. So mahalo nui loa from Hawaii. Aloha. Thank you so much for the opportunity for me to be a part of this. And Joyce, back to you.
Thank you so much, Sherry. I am very grateful that you said yes to us, and I appreciate the sacrifice you're making. But I know this is actually very dear to my heart as well, because understanding my husband as a blueprint made such a big difference, especially when it comes to speaking about our finances. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. Thank you for your understanding and grace with the little glitches here and there with our technology. And I know we ran over our schedule, but we are so grateful. We hope you have found value in what we've heard here today with these amazing women, definitely very extraordinary, and the difference they're making in the world with what they're doing, what they're sharing with everyone else. We appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and check in with our local, we'll just continue with our local chapters. I know everyone has a different plan, and we will see you next year. Apple and the TNC team, thank you so much, Andy. Thank you, everybody who made this happen. Without you, this would not have been possible.